Good morning and Happy New Year. I am really excited to get to start 2019 off with you with doing our contemplative prayer practice. And today we're going to, as you might imagine, spend a little time looking at 2018, looking at our biggest accomplishments and our biggest regrets. And then taking a look at this is only day 3 of the new year. So what have we already carried forward with us? What can we let go of? What doesn't need to be a part of 2019 as we move forward? So let's take a few moments to connect ourselves with God. And so join me, and I invite you to close or lower your eyes, to feel your feet on the floor. Or if you're sitting on the floor, just kind of feel whatever you're sitting on supporting you. And allow yourself to simply relax into this time together. This moment of your day where you actually carve out some time for yourself, some time to connect with God, some time to feel centered and grounded. And we're going to start with taking 3 deep breaths together, starting from empty. And breathing in. And letting it go with a sigh. Breathing in. And one more time. And as you allow your body and your breath to return to its own natural rhythm, take an inventory of your body. Notice anywhere you may be feeling a little tension or tightness. Maybe there's some aches and pains you're just now noticing. I'm noticing for myself that there's a few more little aches from playing bowling with the teens on New Year's Day. And I haven't done that for a while, so it moved my body in different ways than it was used to. And just invite you to send a little love, knowing that God's love is all around us, before us, behind us, above us, below us, and all around us. And I just invite you to breathe that inside of you and just send that to those places. Send God's love, knowing that you are cocooned in God's love and grace. And feeling God's love move through you, radiate from you. Doing your best to open up to more love this year. And what would that look like as you open to more love? More love, more joy, more acceptance of who you are and where you are right now. And just noticing. Maybe you're feeling a little residual stress or tension from the holidays. Maybe you're feeling a lot of relief. Maybe you're looking forward to cleaning up your house and putting all the decorations away if you haven't already. Or maybe you're looking at that with some sadness and nostalgia. However it is for you, just notice and be with it. It's okay. There's nothing you need to do or change or fix in this moment, but just simply be, knowing that there is nothing you can do about what's come before this moment, and there is absolutely nothing you can do right now about the moments to come, but simply be present in this moment as much as possible. As we have sometimes done, let's start the new year off by going to a place where you feel totally safe and completely at ease and relaxed. And then notice, take a look around. Are you near water? Are you not near water? Can you hear water? Engage your senses in your mind's eye. Did you automatically go to the ocean or a river or a cliff or the mountains or just simply the room you're in now? Notice what you see. Notice what you hear. Any smells that may be on the air? Any sensations on your skin? Simply noticing, not changing anything, just noticing. And wherever you are at, imagine the exact right, perfect, most comfortable chair is sitting there right there for you. And I invite you to go sit in it and see how it feels. And just notice what kind of chair showed up for you. For some of us, it may just simply have been a cushion. And for others of us, it may have been a big throne and everything in between. Just have fun with whatever showed up with for you. And sit in that chair and just be. January is a month of looking behind and looking forward. It's a transition month. It's an in-between month. We don't just settle into the new year overnight. We give ourselves the month of January to do that, to figure out what it is we want completely as we move forward into 2019. And we get used to the rhythm of going back to school or going back to work after the holidays. For some people, it's year-end things. Whatever it is, we allow January to be our transition month. We take a moment now to look back on 2018. As you sat in January of 2018 and you work your way through February, March, April, and the rest of the months of the year, what were your biggest accomplishments? Pick three to five of your biggest accomplishments in 2018. And if it makes it easier, you can always start with December and work your way backwards too. What were your biggest accomplishments in 2018? And if you happen to have paper and pen ready, feel free to jot them down. And if you're having difficulty thinking of any accomplishments for 2018, remember, these don't have to be like super big things. It can be small. I started doing strength training and going to the gym regularly in 2018. That was a huge accomplishment for me. And yet, on the surface, it may not seem that big. So just remember that it can be anything, large or small, as long as it has significance to you as an accomplishment. It could be like sending out thank you cards or taking a group of teens to Hawaii, which is one of the things I happen to get to do. But it could also be For me, one of my accomplishments are doing these contemplative prayer practices every week. We've only missed a few weeks, only when I've been on vacation. So what is it for you? It can be showing up every day as your authentic self. That's an accomplishment. I always consider if I can show up 80% of the time as my authentic self, even though my goal is 100% of the time, it's a win. Once you have your 3 to 5 accomplishments, and if you're like me and you start like looking at the year, those regrets are easy to pop up. So I invite you now to turn your attention to those things that you regret from 2018. Maybe there were ways that you didn't show up the way that you wanted to. Showing up as your authentic self 80% of the time is great, but not showing up 20% of the time can also be a regret. So what is it you regret or wish was different in 2018? And if you have nothing, that's great. But most of us have at least one. So think of, 2 or 3. But try to keep it limited to 5. Try to have it match your number of accomplishments. And when you have your list of your biggest accomplishments and your biggest regrets, take a moment and just bring yourself back. You are on January 3rd of 2019. Did you carry any of those regrets or any of those accomplishments into 2019 already? Or have you given yourself a clean slate for 2019? Maybe there are some things or some attributes or characteristics or virtues you'd like to carry into 2019. So as you look at your accomplishments, what were the characteristics that you exuded to make that happen? Maybe you want to carry those forward into 2019. Courage, persistence, determination, patience, joy, love, whatever it is. Have you carried those with you into 2019? Have you remembered who you are as a child of God? And what about those regrets? Are you carrying forward the regret and the sadness and the sorrow and the frustration or the anger or whatever it is? Are you carrying that forward, or did you leave that in 2018? And when you look at those things you regret, what characteristic would have helped you shift that? So some of my regrets are not speaking my truth to keep the peace. And instead I allowed myself to get tied into knots inside. when really the truth needed to be spoken, and it would have been better had I spoken my truth authentically and with much love. So what I want to carry forward isn't the regret of and the frustration over not speaking my truth, but what I want to carry forward is the lesson learned, the growth opportunity, that in 2019 that I have the courage to speak my truth authentically and with love. Hopefully you get the idea. What we want to carry forward into 2019 are the things that help us and support us in our growth and in our connection to God and in our remembering who we are as children of God, that we are light and beacons of love in the world, that we can be angels to other people, but only when we're not carrying anger and resentment and frustration and self-condemnation with us. It is okay to leave all of that back in 2018 and to take a new step and start a new journey for 2019. We have a clean slate. This is only day 3 of 2019. And 2019 can be anything you want it to be. You never walk alone. God is with you, above you, below you, to your right and your left, all around you and inside of you. You are a child of God. That is your birthright. It's okay to let your light shine. It's okay to be vulnerable and let the world see who you are. It's okay to ask for help when you need it. The choice is yours, always. Whether or not what you carry forward, not just from a previous year, but from the previous day, you get to choose. You get to choose. That is part of the gift that we have of free will. So how are you going to choose to start 2019? What are you going to carry forward with you? And what are you going to leave behind? What feeds your soul and helps you be the light of love that you are in the world? What dims that light? The choice is yours. You are invited to stay in this space and contemplate that for as long as is right for you, or if you are ready, just wiggle your fingers and toes and come back to this present time and place, knowing that 2019 can be everything you want it to be and anything you want it to be. Have an absolutely blessed rest of your week, and I will see you next week.